Hey guys, Namaste. Welcome to our YouTube channel Tutor Pratik. Today we are going to learn about various input attributes for our HTML form. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe our YouTube channel and press the bell button that you can be notified whenever we publish our new video. So let's start today's session. Today in our session, we are going to learn some basic input attributes for our HTML form. So for insert form in our HTML web page, we need a form tag, and inside this, we will add the input elements that require for us to create our HTML form. For making inputs for username, we will use an input tag with the type attribute of value text, and we will give the name user name for this input element. By using this name, we can get the value that entered on this input element. So giving name is very important for our HTML form. Now let's save it and check it in our browser. Now we can see that we have one text box just after our username text, where we can type any text on this text box. If you want to make some changes for this text box, like just giving to type 10 characters only, for this on our input tag we will add an attribute max length and 10. This 10 value makes our text box maximum length is only 10 characters. Save it and now check it in our browser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now whatever I type, it will not be typed in this text box because it has the maximum limit of 10 characters only. Similarly, we can also add a password box in our HTML form. For creating a password box, we use input tag, and on the attribute of type, we will give the value password, and on name we will give pwd for this password element. Now we will get a password box, so what you type in this text will not be displayed to the user. Similarly, if you want to give some various choices for your client, like for hobbies, we will use input tag with a attribute of type giving the value checkbox, and we will add another attribute for this input type value, and on this we will give the value whenever the user check this box, this value will be transferred to the server. We created 3 options checkbox for this hobbies. Now check it in our browser. On our hobbies, we have 3 options like dancing, singing and traveling. So users can either click in one option or all of the options they like. This type of checkbox are used for the multiple choice options. For now, we have to click on this small box to check it or uncheck it. It will be easier if someone clicks on this text, and it will be effect on this checkbox too. So making this effect, we can use label element for this text. Let's try on our code. Now we have added a label tag for all our 3 checkboxes. And also in our checkbox, we added another attribute ID, and on the value of this ID, we are going to copy this ID value to our labels for attribute value. This makes the connection between this label to this element. Now save it and let's check it in our browser. Before, while we not using the label tag, we have to click on this small checkbox. This makes little bit difficult for the user to click on this small checkbox. So now we have added the label for each checkbox. Now to tick on this checkbox, we can just click on this label. Similarly, to uncheck, we can just click on this label. Now we have to add a gender, and on gender we will give a radio buttons. To create a radio button, when we're using any radio buttons, the main thing we have to remember is the name of all the radio buttons should be the same for getting data for a single purpose. Now on our gender we have male and female. So when I click on male and again click on female, it automatically deselects this male, and similarly it will switch between male and female. If you change the name of the radio buttons different, let's check how it works. Now when I click on male and click on again female, you can see that both male and female are selected. So keep remember, on using the radio buttons, always use the same name for all radio buttons you made. And if you want to get some attached file from your clients, we can add the attribute input tag. On the value of this type, we will give now file as a value. And finally, we need one submit button at the end of our form. For this, we will use input tag, and on the value for type we will type submit. And on value attribute we will give some text that displays on our button. Send it now. Now we have one button. This is the submit button. So when the clients enter their form, it will be redirected to our action page. Similarly, we have another two buttons. Input type, reset. This reset button makes clear our form. We can use any images or our own design buttons for submit. For this, we have a input tag, and under value for this type we will give image, and for the source of image we will give src attribute, and on this value we will give the address of that image. We have one button.png image in our website, so just I'm going to add this button.image as a value. Now let's check it in our browser. But this image is little bit bigger, so we can resize this image using the height and weight attributes. Like I'm using the width attribute and just giving 320 pixels. Now save it, and now let's check it how it looks. In this way you can design your own button and insert it into your HTML form. Along this we have one another attribute, that is input type equal to hidden, and value hidden. Save it. Now let's check it in our browser. The hidden element will not be shown in our HTML page. This input type hidden is used to transfer some hidden information like some session ID. Similarly, in HTML we have one another input type which can be used for searching purpose. For our search box I am giving a name Q, and after this I added one input type for submit button. For the value of this element I am giving search now. Now let's check it in our browser. We can see one text box for searching and search now button in our top of our form. By using these various input elements, let's make an organized form design. Here I created two forms. First form I gave a name search form. This form is used to search in our website. So I just gave one search input element and then a submit button for this form. After then, in our next form, I gave a name it for info form, and inside it I added a first name, last name, username, password, checkbox selection for hobbies, radio buttons for our gender, and submit button for submit this form, and the reset button for reset this form. And at last also I use one hidden element that is used for submit our session ID, and next I also added one image button to submit our form. Now let's check it in our browser. Here we can see that we have this search box on our right side. We can search anything else in this form. Similarly, in our second form, we have some inputs for getting information from our clients. That's all for today. On our next session, we will learn about some new elements that are available in HTML5. Until then, take care, goodbye.